Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to take you on a little journey around the little free libraries in my area. Now we don't have that many in my area, but we do have some really good ones, and sometimes I can find all sorts of treasures. So if you're not familiar with a little free library, they are all over the United States. I don't know if they do this in other countries, but in the United States, you can actually go to a website and locate the little free libraries that are registered in your area. And people donate books there, and then they take a book and leave a book. So what I do is I keep a big box of books in my car, and if I ever see them, I always want to look and see what they have, but if I don't leave something, I feel bad. You know what I mean? So I keep a very large box of books always in my car. And it probably aggravates the rest of the people riding with me, my family, but oh well, it's my car and that's what I do. My box was overflowing. I had way too many books. They were kind of in the back seat going all over the place. So enough was enough. So last week, my husband was going to take me out on a date, and I decided my date would be, let's go to some little free libraries, because for me, the perfect date is a bookstore and dessert. So, you know, well, I'm trying not to eat sugar right now, so the dessert was out. And so we went to little free libraries instead, and let me tell you, we had a blast. We went to all the little free libraries. I went to the SPCA thrift store that has great books, and we just had a great time. And then we came home and watched Pride and Prejudice. So it was a great day, and it was the perfect date for me. So anyway, as we went to these little free libraries, I had so many books to donate, and so I tried to divide them up because I knew which little free libraries I was going to go to, and so I tried to put, you know, so many in each little free library. And I came home with probably well, not as many, I didn't fill up the box, but almost as many as I donated. So I can't wait to share them with you. So as we go through, I'm going to show you some pictures of some of the little free libraries that we have. We have one that is so cute. It has an adult library, and then it has a little children's library, and I just think that's cute that he has divided it up. And also has a little drawer, and if you pull the drawer out, there's like magazines and things in that too. So I really like that one. There are a couple of libraries in our area that I think the Girl Scouts or somebody like that, they take care of these, and so there's a lot of children's books in those, and they're just like in the middle of a subdivision. But my favorite is the TARDIS. I remember when they first built that little TARDIS. This has been several years ago. My husband came home from work and he said, "You have got to go see this. I've got to show you something." So he took me down there. I think it was at Easter one year. And we rode after our Easter service and lunch. That's what he did. He took me to see the TARDIS, and I was so excited because, you know, most of the little free libraries in my area, it's just one or two shelves. But the TARDIS, you open up and it's big. Well, it's not bigger on the inside, but it's pretty big on the inside of it. And so I love it. And I'm a Doctor Who fan. So of course I love the TARDIS little free library in my area. And it's in this parking lot, so it's not dangerous on the side of a road, because some of these places you have to be careful when you pull off to go look at a little free library, because a lot of these don't have sidewalks where they are, and so it's kind of, you know, a little scary. You have to be very careful. But this one is actually in a parking lot on the side, and it's you know, away from traffic, so I do like that about it too. So anyway, here are the books that I picked up at all of these different little free libraries. Now we spent all day going to little free libraries, and I had a great time. So these are the books that I found. Now, most of these books I picked up because they're free. I've heard of the author or something like that. Like this is a Ken Follett book I've never heard of. It's called The Man from St. Petersburg. I don't know anything about it, and I've never read Ken Follett, but I have heard of Ken Follett. So let me know if I need to keep this one or if I should just give it back to the Little Free Library. I found this one. This just looked like an at-home in Mitford kind of book. It's called Stealing Lumbee by Gail Fraser. That looks like the Mitford series to me. So I thought maybe it's kind of a heartwarming, fun book like that. Again, never heard of it. Now this one I have heard of and I wanted to read. Everyone, well, I don't know, there's mixed reviews on this, but a lot of the booktubers that read like I do really like this one. It's called A Gentleman in Moscow. Let me know if you've read that one and if I should keep it. I think I'll try a couple of chapters of it anyway. This looked very interesting, so much so that I have hunted down and ordered the first one in this series. It's by Eugenia Price, To See Your Face Again. And what the reason is, you know, I love the cover, so that's why I picked it up. But the first book's called Savannah, and I'm wondering, in 1838, and there is a ship that explodes or something, so it sounds pretty dramatic, but it is historical fiction. I love the cover, so I'm really interested in that one too. I picked this up because I'm always looking for Christmas books to add to my collection. I am hoping, my dream is that everyone in my family will read books at Christmas time. I don't know why I'm like that, but that's what I envision. Everyone sitting around after dinner reading a book. So what I do is I put books everywhere at Christmas. And so this is another one to add to that collection. This is called A Creed Country Christmas. And I have no idea. I think this is in a series. But when I looked at the flap, the inside description, it sounds like you can read this outside of the series. So I don't think I have to read the series to understand this one. But of course I wanted it because it was Christmas. There was another Christmas. This is a blue and gray Christmas. And this is a 4-in-1 collection. And I do love these. Now there's a sticker I'll have to take off. But I do love these because I like short novellas and short stories at Christmas time. And I read tons of these. There's no telling how many of these I've read through the years. So I always pick these up too. And again, it was in the Little Free Library. And then I found a Betty Neals. I did read a Betty Neals just recently, I think in the winter. I think it was called The Winter Wedding. And it was okay. But, and I don't know how I feel about this one, but I have heard Betty Neals is good, so I'm giving her another try with The 5th Day of Christmas because it is Christmas and I do love a good romance at Christmas time, so I picked that one up too. And again, it's free. If I don't like it, all I have to do is put it back in the Little Free Library. Now this one, I think I've heard Elizabeth, if you watch this, let me know. But I think Elizabeth at Lizzie Faye Loves Books has talked about this series. Miss Julia Speaks Her Mind. I think I've heard her talk about this series and enjoying it. So that's why I picked that one up. Again, it looks kind of like it would be a Mitford type book read as well. So let me know if you've read that. This is called Love on the Line, and it looks like it's a historical Christian fiction. That sounded fun. Again, I'm just going to try these. I'll try a chapter. If I don't like it, I can just put it back in the Little Free Library. Another one that, this is a beautiful cover. This is biblical fiction, I think. The Centurion's Wife. I'm not sure. A sweeping saga of the dramatic events surrounding the birth of Christianity. That sounds really good. So it's put out by Bethany House, and I usually like the Bethany House publication. This was a great find. New Kid. I'm pretty sure this won the Newbery. Now there's not a Newbery on it, so maybe it was before it was awarded. But didn't this win a Newbery? I think it did. It's a graphic novel. I'm not that big on graphic novels, but I am going to read it if it is a Newbery because I'm trying to read all of them, and I'm trying to collect all the Newberries too. So let me know because I'm pretty sure that this won the Newbery at some point. I also found this one that I know is a Newbery because there's a Newbery medal on the front of it, and that is Kira Kira. But I've never read this one, and it's a hardback, so I was excited to find that since it is a Newbery to add to my collection. This is one by John MacArthur. It's How to Get the Most from God's Word, an everyday guide to enrich your study of the Bible. I'm always trying to find ways to do a better job at studying my Bible, and this is not that long, so I thought this would be a good one to add to my Bible study collection. The next one, y'all, is just super random but so much fun, and that's the Boxcar Children. This is the original story. You know, there's a whole series of Boxcar Children mysteries, but this is the original that I fell in love with. I remember reading this in 2nd grade and reading it over and over. I checked it out from my library over and over, but I have never had a copy of it other than what I had in my classroom. I bought a set of the Boxcar Children books, and it was in my classroom, and I left that for the next teacher. So I've never personally had it. So I need to get me a copy of the Boxcar Children, but I'm going to read it from here just because I want to, you know, throw back to that time and read it and enjoy it. And I'm just going to take this back to the Little Free Library when I'm finished. But I do want to find a good vintage copy of the Boxcar Children, and I just love that story. This is one I've heard of, but I've never read. It's The Secret of Platform 13 by Eva Ibbotson. I've heard of this, but I've never read it. I think it's a fantasy, and I think it's a super popular book, so I wanted to give that one a try. I also found, I thought this was very interesting. This is a bind-up of 3 Agatha Christie's. It's starring Miss Marple, and if you follow my channel, you know that I am trying to read all the Miss Marples. I have 2 left. Now, this is what's interesting. This has A Murder is Announced, The Body in the Library, and Murder with Mirrors. So the reason I picked this up was I have already read Murder is Announced and Body in the Library. But when I saw Murder with Mirrors, I was totally confused because I read The Mirror Cracked from Side to Side, and then I looked back at my list and I was like, oh, I read that out of order. I'm supposed to read They Do It with Mirrors. So now I'm like, okay, Murder with Mirrors, that's not even listed in my list of Miss Marple books. So I am totally confused. So maybe this is, because you know, sometimes they have a UK title and they have a United States title. So I'm wondering if They Do It with Mirrors is Murder with Mirrors. So that's why I picked this up. I'm going to put this back in the Little Free Library after I read it, because I'm like, I know I hadn't read Murder with Mirrors. I've read Mirror Cracked from Side to Side. So let me know in the comments, because I am totally confused about this mirror situation with Miss Marple. And then I picked this up. This is a beautiful cover, and it's called Mrs. Lincoln's Dressmaker by Jennifer Shiverini. Now, I have some books by her already, and y'all, I have not read any of them. But this book, I just couldn't resist that cover. I thought the cover was just gorgeous, and I love historical fiction, so that I thought I would give this one a try. And then finally, this is The Hidden Children. I can't see their name because there's a sticker. This is, looks like it was a discarded library book, I think. On the back it says, during the Second World War, thousands of Jewish children were hidden from the Nazis by individuals in homes, convents, and institutions. And these are stories of first-person narratives about those children. So I thought that would be interesting. It's not that long, but I thought maybe for Nonfiction November, I could add this to my Nonfiction November reading. So let me know if you've read that too. So those are the books that I found at the Little Free Libraries. Again, if you go to a Little Free Library, the rule is, now you don't have to do this, but it's nice to add. The rule is if you take one, leave one kind of thing. And so I had lots of books to donate, but I brought home lots of books too. If I don't like these, I'll just donate them back to the Little Free Library, because I'm sure I will be, you know, adding more books to the Little Free Library along the way. Have you read any of these? And do you have a Little Free Library in your area? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.